Hey, good morning. This is Talk Back to Television, and I'm here with John Giegengack from Hub Entertainment Research. John, how are you?
Hey Rick, how you doing?
And you just came back from the Stream TV show in Denver, where you talked a lot about ad tolerance among Gen Z. So
Yeah,
we want to know about that. I have some specific questions, but give us a broad look. What does your research say?
sure. So we completed some. We have a study that we do twice a year on ad-supported TV content, and one that we do annually on fast services in particular. Uh, and for this Stream TV conference, I gave a keynote. We did a bunch of analysis to compare younger people, Gen Z age, to everybody else, or at least to older folks, and to Gen Z and Boomers mostly, to see, how do they react to ads and content. And that's a really
On
important question
on
today.
TV, right?
Uh, TV and social both. So just kind of ads in entertainment content.
All right, I'm going to interrupt you here. Are we talking about what they're watching on the piece of furniture or what they're watching on the thing in their hand, or does your research kind of mush all that together?
It mushes them together, but it also breaks them out separately. So we compared
Okay,
how they
all
feel
right.
about ads that they see on social platforms, which are a lot of it's on mobile, but not all of it. YouTube now is consumed more on TV sets than it is on mobile devices.
I'm
But
not sure we need to keep calling YouTube social, huh?
I mean, yeah, I think it qualifies as social because it's interactive and you can leave comments and it's built around communities of fans, which TV is to some extent too, but it could actually be more built that way. And that's one of the big takeaways from my presentation was that TV has permission from consumers to adopt a lot of the things that make ads on social so effective. In particular, the sharing of personal information in exchange for seeing ads that are more relevant to the user.
They get that, they understand it, and it's okay with them. It's my guess is it's just not a big deal because everybody's doing it anyway, right?
Well, if you ask people, do you want to share your personal information, and you don't enumerate anything that they're getting back in exchange, nobody really wants to do that. But if you tell people that, would you be willing to share your personal information in exchange for getting better recommendations for shows to watch, or in exchange for seeing ads that are more relevant to you, that are for things you're interested in, everybody's more interested then. And Gen Z is especially interested, I think, because they have a different paradigm for how advertising is supposed to work. So they spend all their time, or much more of their time, on social platforms. And on social platforms, you expect to see things that are relevant to you in your feed based on who you are or other things you've done. Nobody really reads that giant terms and conditions agreement before they click on it. But
Right.
I think that young people have sort of a different paradigm. They have a different standard for what constitutes invasiveness. And for them, I think they're used to the idea that they're being targeted for ads based on their attributes or based on things that they've done. And for them, that's not only normal. If it means they're going to see ads that are more relevant to them, it's actually better, because if you have to watch ads anyway, why not see ads for things that might mean something to you?
Okay, so now is this tolerance or just I don't care?
Well, I mean, I guess tolerance and I don't care. That's kind of the same. That's kind of the
Well,
same
yeah,
sort
but
of.
tolerance means I'm accepting something. I'm making a
Yeah. Well,
decision
it's
because I'm going through the calculation and the value proposition, and I
well, there's
don't care
definitely, yeah,
as
there's definitely a value exchange.
okay.
So I mean, there's two ways you can get content these days. You can pay a subscription fee and you pay with money, or you can watch ads and you pay with your time or
Your
your
time.
convenience. Yeah. And I think that Gen Z is willing to pay for ad-free content some of the time, but their standard is set by YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, where it's free, and that's sort of the base point that they start from. So I think that when they're going to pay it, that's maybe more of the exception. We also, it's no coincidence that the users of fast services like Tubi or Pluto, for instance, are younger than people that don't use fast, because the free ad supported TV programs, services, act a lot more like social media, where the content is free. They're not sort of the big buzzy originals that have tons and tons of advertising around them. It's your own personal taste.
Yep.
And even some of the, I mean, Tubi's doing a fantastic job right now. They've incorporated creator content right into their fast catalog. So young people can come in to watch creator content, and from there they're exposed to and most of them watch long form TV shows from Tubi's catalog. So I think they are the first to realize that this idea of having social video, as you said a minute ago, this idea of having social video and long form video as two separate categories that you get in two separate places, for young people, that seems completely arbitrary. Like, why wouldn't I get it all in one spot? I'm watching all of that stuff on TV anyway. Uh, and it just makes perfect sense that you would have both together. And another really elegant fit of it is that young people are they're a lot less interested in brand new releases. They're perfectly happy to watch new to me shows, even if they're years and years old or they're even out of production. So that largely catalog based content that's on the free streaming services is perfectly acceptable to younger viewers. And even the fact that some of these shows are nostalgia shows, that's even something that viewers of all ages actually seek out. So the assumption that nostalgia content or old shows are sort of a trade-off that people make in order to be able to watch for free, it really doesn't hold water. There's a significant number of people who actually see the nostalgia shows as a selling point. Being able to go back and watch old Dukes of Hazzard or Miami Vice or whatever else is not something you can do on every single platform. And the fast services often organize themselves where all of that nostalgia content is easy to find in a category. And that's something that while the content is less expensive to offer, there are some people out there that actually find that valuable, even though it
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
cost more.
So everybody like the ABCs and the NBCs and the CBSs and even the Warners who have warehouses like at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark with all those dusty boxes of stuff,
Yep.
they're already digging into there, and you're suggesting that that's not just for filler. I mean, fast channels, you gotta light up the channel with something.
You
But
got to light it up with
you're
something.
saying there's real perceived value on the consumer's part
Absolutely.
for that classic stuff. All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's behaving a lot more like music now. I still listen to like Willie Nelson and Led Zeppelin and the Rolling Stones. Nobody cares that they're not making new music anymore, and
Yeah.
that nobody cares at all. It's the quality endures, and that's the way that people look at TV. If you think back to, I think the TV industry has continually underestimated the value of all that catalog, and they did it to their own detriment with Netflix when the TV companies
That's
sold
how
Netflix
Netflix
all of the
started. Yeah. We'll pay
yeah.
you for it. Good. Give me some
Well,
money.
most of the time that Netflix has been around, they haven't had all of these really buzzy, and they made all the money that they needed to develop or buy
Yep.
those originals by a catalog that was the equivalent of the blue bucket at Walmart with the $5 DVDs in it that the networks thought nobody would want to watch.
Yeah,
And
the
they
table out on
yeah,
the sidewalk.
and they didn't want to watch it till Netflix took it and organized them and gave them some graphical, posters that you could choose from, and created an algorithm that would steer you to something that you like. And that's really what fast channels are doing, except now that you have the catalogs that fast channels have are bigger than what Netflix had. And there are far more effective ways to help you find something that you're going to want to watch. Tubi's using AI to kind of create the Spotify, they call it, of television,
Right.
where you can be guided to things that you're really going to enjoy in these vast catalogs that the different companies have. That it doesn't matter if they're old. I mean, remember, it was only about a year ago that Gunsmoke was in the top 10 on Nielsen's streaming shows, and they haven't made a new episode of that in about 70 years.
Well, James Arness isn't around anymore because the thing ate him in the Arctic or whatever happened with that. All right,
That's
now
okay.
now the television industry, and I've been knocking around longer than most. We are famous for saying, well, if A worked, we're going to follow that with B because B is close enough to A. So if it works to get some 90s sitcoms out of the NBC catalog, I'm going to just keep doing that as much as I can. Does the consumer make a differentiation between this sitcom or that sitcom, or will he or she just take a look and try it?
I think though, I mean, they'll probably try it, but what we've seen again and again in the age of streaming is that it used to be for a show to get popular, you had to put a tremendous amount of marketing
Oh
behind
yeah,
it just to get people to watch. But now there's algorithms, now there's video on demand, there's bottomless catalogs. So it's kind of a self-selecting process. And there's tons of shows that were on streaming, but on smaller platforms. But then as soon as they get on to Netflix, like La Brea is now one of the
that's
top
right.
shows on
They get
Netflix.
hot.
Yeah, and because there's enough people there, the scale kind of creates a network effect. But
I get that.
I think
Oh,
that's it's one of the reasons that there was a bidding war for Warner Brothers Discovery because of that 100-year catalog that they have.
catalog of movies and shows, and believe it or not, old episodes of the Do-It-Yourself channel or whatever that was.
Yeah, and Netflix
Because
has the
shit still
biggest.
breaks. I still gotta
Netflix
cook.
Netflix has the biggest original content budget now, but they don't have 100 years of IP and 100 years of content in their
That's
vault.
why they wanted Warner.
And these traditional media companies do, but they're just not yet making the best use of them. They're not applying them in the way that all of those sort of, the gun smokes, all the other gun smokes that are hidden in that vault, let them out into the sunshine so that they can find an audience and grow. And I think that is a hugely undervalued asset that a lot of these traditional media companies have that they haven't activated yet.
All right, so now I'm a content owner and I'm going to do this and that and I'm going to get it out there in front of people. Why in the world should I care if I've got a bunch of 13, 14, and 15-year-olds watching it? They're not buying, they're not spending money. Why should I spend money to get advertising to them or content to them?
Well, I mean, there's lots of things that get bought for 13 and 14 and 15-year-olds because they bug their
Okay.
parents. I mean, that's always been the case. Uh,
You
but I
mean
think
when the
that,
first word out of their mouth is "Dad"? You mean those
yeah,
kids? Yeah, okay.
the 13 and 14 and 15-year-olds that are getting iPads and
Well, now that's
Xboxes
true.
and playing Fortnite. I mean, there's tons and tons of that age group is just as worth advertising today as it was, at any point in time. But I think that the one of the most interesting things that we found is that even though young people, we asked a bunch of questions to compare ads that they see on social to ads that they see on television. The ads they see on social are more relevant, they're more engaging, they're more fun to watch, and that's where they spend more of their time on social video than they do watching traditional TV. But then we asked the entire sample, but we said, who do you trust more uh, to be responsible with your personal data, TV companies or social media companies? And among all ages, the trust is greater in TV companies. So even though people of all ages and especially young people are using social video more, they don't trust those companies more. I think with good reason. They can read, they see all of the news, and they have a sense of the level of data leverage that's happening with their personal information. And what I think this means though is that TV companies have permission
Yeah.
to ask people for that data. And if there's some data that people are more willing to share than others. We asked about a whole kind of gradient of different types of information about themselves, but TV companies have permission from consumers to ask for that same kind of information. And if they get that information, they can deliver what those consumers want, especially the young ones, which is fewer ads and ads that are more targeted to the individual user. And more relevant ads is everybody knows that's better for the advertisers because they're getting in front of the right people. But as it turns out, it's also better for consumers because they're having a better experience, and it's better for the services themselves because consumers who have a better experience are more satisfied and they don't cancel their subscription.
Cool, man. All right. Well, we're out of time. We're going to catch up on your next report. But thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I don't know
Thank
if
you.
this helps me understand my grandkids at all, but
Good luck with that.
yeah, good luck with that. Thank you, buddy. Take care.
Thanks a
Bye bye.
lot.